creating a character for a TV show that runs for a couple of seasons like this, do you kind of create in your head a backstory for that character, or do you tend to more not create anything backstory-wise in your head in case something comes along that changes that? You get a different view from the director or the show creator.
That's a good question. Every actor is different. Every actor approaches the work differently. I rarely build up a big backstory. I kind of like to let the writers handle that. They tell me what they need to know, and if there's something about the character's backstory that's vital to knowing how to play them, I figure it's probably in the script somewhere, in either in a stage direction or in a line that he says. So I don't do a lot of that. Also, especially with Bobby, I came on board thinking it was a one-shot deal. They hired me to do Devil's Trap, and I thought, okay, I'm going to Vancouver and do one episode of this TV show, and that'll be that. So it didn't, and what little backstory they wanted to be known was in the script, They said, all the stuff about, I almost shot John once, and that was that sort of set the tone for who he was. And maybe I might have built a little more backstory if I'd known I was going to be around for the next 3 or 4 years. But for the most part, it's like everything else on the show. I like being surprised. I like to pick up a script and go, oh, that's why he did that. Okay. And the writers, they come up with at least as good stuff as I can come up with. So now a lot of actors work differently. A lot of them make copious notes about what went on 20 years ago with their character, and that works for them. And I've done it on occasion, but it's not usually the way I work.
On the subject of what might have happened with the character 20 years ago, do you agree with the selection of Pin-Up Girl for your panic room as well?
Was it Bo Derek? Obviously, I paid a lot of attention. Well, you have to understand, when we were shooting that, it was on the wall behind me, so I never felt the need to turn around. No, I didn't have anything to do with that. I sort of thought Bobby was a little classier than that, but perhaps not. No, I was a little surprised that anybody who worked on the show remembered who Bo Derek was. I do. So, yeah.
What was your favorite scene moment as Bobby?
My favorite scene?
Favorite scene that you've been in?
Well, I think the last few conventions I've always said the same thing, that the scene between Bobby and Dean in the junkyard in All Hell Breaks Loose, which was, I went back and looked at that the other day. It's a good scene. It's a lovely piece of writing, and Jensen was amazing in it, and I was incredible. And there's been a lot of scenes since then that have been a lot of fun and interesting and touching and scary and all that. I think that's probably still my favorite so far, but somewhere around season 10 there might be another one I like just as well. We'll keep our fingers crossed, right? No,
I would love to ask you an intellectual question, but really this is my first convention, and all I want in the world is for you to say, there's a storm coming and you're smacking them in the face.
guys remember my lines better than I. But I'll tell you something about remembering lines. I was shooting episode 6 a couple of weeks ago, and they asked me to come into the sound trailer to redo some dialogue from episode 2. Where the scene where I was casting the spell with the big bowl, and right before Meg rips my heart out momentarily. And they said, we need you, there was some sound problem when we shot that, we need you to redo the sound on it. So I went to the sound trailer, and they said, you remember what you said there, don't you? And I said, it was in Aramaic. I didn't remember it when I went home that night. And they said, well, you can fake it, right? Fake Aramaic. And I finally convinced them that no, 6 weeks earlier, a bunch of words I had said in Aramaic, I wasn't likely to remember. And so they ran around for half an hour digging through the office files until they finally found a copy of the script. And I got to dub in the Aramaic lines, and they had written some new ones for me. And I'd like to see how that scene came out, because it was weird dubbing it. But, that was just 2 weeks ago, and I can't remember the Aramaic. So, anyway, there's a storm coming, and you boys are smacking them. Did I ever actually say that? Well, I'll leave it up to you experts. Oh, hi.
My question is, I know Jared's a big prankster. Has he pulled any pranks on you lately? And whether he has or has not, do you have a plan to pull a prank on him anytime soon?
He pulled one prank on me, which I've talked about a number of times. And that's the only one he's really dared to pull so far. And yes, I do have a plan. It's, oh, I can't do that. It may take a couple of years of preparation. But, yeah, I'm working on something. Jared's, is he here yet? Yeah, like you guys would be sitting here if he was. Jared is a 6'4" baby. And I mean that in the kindest possible way. He thinks he's in kindergarten. And he ought to be. He's a lot of fun, but I suspect that in 90 years on his deathbed, he's going to pull a stunt. So that's just his nature. So you always have to watch out when you're working with him, because all kinds of really disgusting, awful things can happen when he's around. Some of which I can't even begin to talk about in mixed company. So that's probably an unhelpful answer, but yeah.
Hi, Jan. I just wanted to ask, because you were talking earlier about...
Are you Sarah Palin?
No.
You got the Caribou Bari glasses on.
Oh, thanks. These are my emo glasses, Jim. Anyway, you were talking about coming in just for Devil's Trap, and your role has expanded so much just in like the past year, and you know, you're in the first 2 episodes this season. Were you stoked when you found out that there would be more of Bobby, or was it kind of a little intimidating, or did you enjoy it?
I hated it. I hate working. I hate